What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, everyone? I'm Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk. It's been a minute, couple days since I've been on here live, and actually, I had time today. I got time today to jump in here. Most importantly, I need to get something out the way. I'm homegrown, born and raised from up there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, residing down here in Atlanta in the ATL. And to everyone, to all the faithful Dog Pound Cleveland Browns supporters, I got to salute y'all, tell y'all congratulations. A lot of people thought it wasn't possible, but y'all did what y'all had to do. And y'all made the path for my Pittsburgh Steelers. Y'all made the path for my Pittsburgh Steelers very difficult. Just like Shedeur Sanders in his interview, he said that Snoop Huntley, who was playing for the injured Lamar Jackson, dealing with some back injuries, that he called Shedeur up, wished them well for the game prior to the Browns playing the Steelers. And Shedeur said with a big smile, he appreciated Snoop Huntley from the Ravens reaching out to him and wishing him well and speaking life into him. And, Snoop Huntley saying he was excited to be able to watch the game for a reason, because since the Browns did upset my Pittsburgh Steelers, we got to play the Browns this upcoming Sunday night at 8 p.m. Woo! National Worldwide TV. Winner moves on, goes to the playoffs, wins the AFC North Division. The loser, whether it be Harbaugh for the coach of the Ravens or whether it be Mike Tomlin, will it be an end of an era in Baltimore or end of an era in Pittsburgh? Both cities are screaming for to go separate ways with their coaches, but they got to be careful what they ask for. The grass ain't always greener on the other side. Just ask those Cleveland Browns. But I got to, put my wrist up. I'm a big-time Shedeur Sanders supporter. I was in turmoil watching that game because I was rooting for Shedeur, but I needed my Steelers to win, but it is what it is. But the chat is open. I got time today to get on here and get with y'all. I was supposed to do a live collaboration, but my man up there, give live game reactions to what occurred in that Steelers Browns game. But my man up there in Cleveland, Reese Will, he's under the weather. So I was missing y'all. I wanted to get on here and run my mouth. Hopefully we get some people to come in here, drop your comments, and we cook on and chat on whatever you got to say. But the hottest thing that's going on now, that after this particular this weekend on Sunday, they called the last game of the season for the coaches who have not made their way going to the playoffs. They call Monday Black Monday, where you see a lot of head coaches lose their job. So not only, there may be ramifications for the Baltimore Ravens and my Pittsburgh Steelers, like I said, who's winning, but also, there's big talk of Kevin Stefanski. Probably they're pitching it as a mutual agreement between owner management, Jimmy Haslam, and Kevin Stefanski going their separate ways. So first, I got a couple of notes in here that I'm going to play real quick. We're going to hear what Jimmy Haslam had to say at the beginning of the season, reference Kevin Stefanski and the GM. And then I got three short video clips in here. Y'all can draw. Hey, what's up, Selmo? Hey. What's up, man? What's up? I was supposed to do a live collaboration with Reese Will, but he's really feeling under the weather up there in Cleveland. So I decided to come on here, chat it up a bit. And it is what it is. Y'all going oops upside my Pittsburgh Steelers head, and the Steelers being so worried about not letting Myles Garrett get that sack record They was more worried about that, and we end up losing. And Aaron Rodgers was just throwing the ball away everywhere that we end up losing the game. If I was the quarterback, I wouldn't have gave a damn about getting sacked. At least I would have been immortalized in a picture frame, posted plastered everywhere. Miles, Aaron Rodgers getting sacked, being immortalized by Myles Garrett breaking the sack record. But real talk, I really want Myles Garrett to get the sack record by listening to the sports media up there in Cleveland, whether it be ESPN Cleveland, 92.3 The Fan, the Big Play up there, Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, Cleveland Browns Daily. I'm tapped into it all. Up there just to follow Shedeur Sanders up there. But, man, you should have seen me. I couldn't watch the game at home, y'all, the Browns and Steelers game, because they wasn't showing on the regular local television deal down there. So I had to go to my favorite little sports cafe, watch the game there, and you should have seen me. I had my black and yellow hat on, my Le'Veon Bell number 26 jersey. But then here I am, got my favorite spot, VIP spot sitting up at the bar, drinking my lime and lemon water, keeping myself hydrated all throughout the game. And then people were looking at me and telling me, like, what's going on with you? You got Steeler gear on, but you screaming for the Browns. That was hilarious. I was torn between two teams. You know that old song, Torn Between Two Lovers. Or another old song that come to mind, Love on a Two-Way Street. Wow, that's funny. Love on a Two-Way Street. But they was like, you were still a fan. How are you rooting for Shedeur? And I had to tell them, hey, we all got our favorite teams. So I only got one favorite team, but I can have my favorite players. So, that is what it is. That's what I was doing. But I just decided to come on here anyway, yap it up. Whenever y'all do watch this live airing, let me know how y'all feel. Selmo, drop your comments. Do you think Haslam is really going to let Kevin Stefanski go, or do you think it's going to be, or you think it's going to run it back and they let Jimmy Haslam? I really think that the Jimmy Haslam has a better chance in staying up there in Cleveland. That's what my thoughts are on that. More than Stefanski staying there, but Jimmy Haslam did say that 3-14 wasn't going to cut it. Well, they actually won one more game, so let's listen to Jimmy Haslam real quick.
Does that patience also kind of extend to allowing Kevin the opportunity to, when you find that guy, have the opportunity to work with him?
Absolutely.
Jimmy, what in terms of wins, what would be a successful season for you?
You really think we're going to answer that? Listen, we got to do better than 3. Okay, to put a number on it, I don't think we will ever do that. Everybody, coaches, players, personnel, ownership, all knows that 3-14 won't cut it. We've got to do better. I think we'll know what better looks like.
So that was Jimmy Haslam before the trade. I'm laughing so hard because Selmo's messing with me here. Drop y'all comments in here, but I need y'all to check out this comment. I want other people to chime in here. Just let me know in the chat where you're from. I already know Selmo's up there in Cleveland, Ohio, big time Cleveland Browns fan. But he put in the chat, which had me cracking up. He put in the chat, he said, Randy, you in the room with Medea and Tyler Perry. What do you think is going to happen next? That is hilarious. And my first thought is, Selmo, I hope this makes you laugh too. This is my first thought when I read this. Medea is going to say to Tyler Perry, Medea. Or Tyler's going to say to Medea. Tyler going to say to Medea, Medea. Now, when we walk in this bathroom, are we going to sit down or are we going to stand up? That's hilarious. That was my first thought when I said that. If you're in the room with Medea and Tyler Perry, what do you think is going to happen next? Tyler Perry is going to ask Medea when they walk in the bathroom, are we going to sit down or are we going to stand up? Whenever y'all get into the chat, if y'all in the background, don't, I don't care what comment you put in here, good, bad, or different, it'll be liked. But the hottest things going on coming up this after the games played on Sunday. We might even hear after the games being played right after Sunday. But typically on Monday, you hear the stories breaking out. Breaking news. Alert. Coaches being let go. So they call that Monday after the last game played on Sunday for any teams that ain't making it to the playoffs. They call it Black Monday. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. They call one of the biggest shopping events in the year Black Friday. And then they want to call after the last teams that ain't do well in the year. They want to call that Monday after that Sunday. They want to call Black Monday. Why they want to always attach us to something negative? That's just crazy. That's crazy. Just crazy, crazy, crazy. So, but let me get back on track here. I need to know what y'all think. Do y'all think Jimmy's going to stay? Stefanski's going to get let go? Let me know. Boy, you all one today, Selmo. You are all one today. You are all one today, man. You are all one today. So let's see. ESPN Cleveland. We got Tony Rizzo. He does the Rizzo show 8 o'clock in the morning on YouTube, and then they do the really big show up there on ESPN Cleveland. This is all from this week, y'all. Let's see what Tony Rizzo has to say.
Anderson, who covers the National Football League on a regular basis, up on there on the Twitter, or the X as it may be, and our social media mentions are brought to us by Scheiben Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. Mm-hmm. Josina says, I'm told the Browns have met with former GMs Chris Grier and Tom Telesco to gather perspectives and for exploratory talks on potentially adding senior voices. That's according to league sources. And then Josina adds it's customary to connect with available personnel on the market during carousel season. That it is. It's interesting, though. You have a former longtime general manager of the Miami Dolphins in Chris Grier and a former longtime general manager of the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers and Tom Telesco, who was with the Raiders last year and is a John Carroll grad.
Yeah. So
stay tuned.
Well, I'm potentially adding senior voices.
So that right there, I had that saved up on my voice recording from the day on social media. About 10 o'clock this morning, or actually it was before 10 o'clock, Mary Kay Cabot, she led with a story last week on that she said that the one GM did come up there and visit. The other GM never arrived up there to meet with them. But she said the purpose of the visit wasn't to go there to potentially replace Jimmy Haslam. But the one guy from the one GM that was the GM for the Colts, and he was a GM for another team, not the GM from Miami. He used to be Andrew Berry's boss. So he was just getting some mentoring from him. Basically, he was, trying to pick his brain and was trying to ask for some assistance and getting the best course of action on what he thinks he should be doing going forward. Prior to this year, Andrew Berry has some not so good draft picks, but this year he's knocked it out the park. That's why I think Jimmy Haslam definitely going to keep him. With their chief strategy officer leaving the team a couple of weeks ago and going on back to baseball where he initially came from, I think in some capacity, Jimmy Haslam may create a similar position to that chief strategy officer. Because if you don't know, Andrew Berry has a twin brother, and he came from the Philadelphia Eagles, and his brother has that position, the chief strategy officer over there in Philadelphia. So I can see where Jimmy Haslam may create some type of position to where they can slide Andrew Berry into that and then bring in a new GM and then bring in a new coach. But I really feel like Andrew Berry is a snake in the weeds, because it's funny how we've seen at least on 2 occasions where after 2 games, one was on the Raiders game where Andrew Berry was down on the sideline and balled out well in that game. And Andrew Berry was talking to Shador on the sideline, and it went all over social media. And then the other game where it wasn't a Ravens game, it was another game. I forget which one it was. If y'all know, put it in the chat, where Andrew Berry was down in the locker room and he gave him a hug. So that gives the illusion that Andrew Berry is a big-time supporter of Shador Sanders, but I just find it funny how the cameras keyed in on that. So, that can come from owners, Jimmy Haslam telling the Browns public affairs to, make sure you get video clips of this and video footage, and make sure you show Andrew Berry down in the locker room with Shador. So I'm so glad that, it was a bittersweet moment. It was a bittersweet moment seeing Shador do well, get his first home game win, and then with the Browns getting pushed out of that win, dropping down all the way down to the number 7 draft pick. It was really good. That'll give Shador a better chance of having a real opportunity competing for that number 1 spot, getting the first team reps like he should. So we'll just see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. I really think that the Browns are going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Real talk there. I really think the Browns is going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. All right, let's see. I think this is Grosey and Rizzo on Kevin Stefanski.
As he did in the building to save his job with that win yesterday, if anything.
I'm not sure, Rizzo. I've come this week to the vibe that he wants out as much as anything.
What leads you to believe that? Just his demeanor?
Yeah, it's body language. He had an edge to him in the post game. It wasn't so celebratory. It was like,
Screw you.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah.
Told you.
Yeah.
Wait till I go do this somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him if he had that attitude. And I think that's where this is.
So that was Rizzo and Grocery. That was actually on Monday. They call it Victory Monday up there in Cleveland. Grozy has, he's a national sports analyst, strictly for the Cleveland Browns, ESPN Cleveland. Tony Grossi has been very aggressive with his questions to Kevin Stefanski. He straight out asked him in the press conference after the game. He asked him on Sunday after the win. And then he asked him on Monday, with the season going the way it's been and having another very poor season, he asked Kevin Stefanski straight up, do you still want to be the coach there? And Kevin Stefanski, being Kevin Stefanski, he does what he always do. And he says, my focus is this next game, which is playing the Cincinnati Bengals. But Kevin Stefanski's second reply behind that, he says, I will say that it's been a privilege to be the coach of the Cleveland Browns. So in that reply, he tried to divert the question by saying his focus is on preparing the team and the plan to play the Cleveland Browns and close out the season on a positive note. But then he followed it up with saying, I will tell you it's been a privilege to be the coach for the Cleveland Browns. So that means he never answered the question if he still wanted to stay there. So Tony Grossi, from that, he took from, Kevin could have squashed the question and said, yes, I persevered through all this, going through all the quarterback changes, going through all the injuries. Yes, I plan on being the coach here. But he didn't answer it this way. So he didn't answer it that way. So There might have been talks already up there in Cleveland. We'll see come Monday or Tuesday what happens. Y'all can, whenever you watch this live airing, drop your thoughts down in here. Let me think if Barry's going to be able to stay the GM, if Kevin's going to be able to stay. Both of them's going to go. One of them's going to go. What do you want to see? Are you glad that the Browns won the game? Are you upset that the Browns won and y'all dropped in your draft picks? And I got some stats, but I'm doing another live airing on that. I was saving it for the live collaboration. I'll probably do it. Reese Will is really under the weather. Send some prayers up for him on Going Strong podcast and Browns Football Talk. That's why we're not doing a live collaboration this week. But I'll save all that content for next week because we got a lot of time between now and the draft after the season ends for the Browns on this Sunday. But I did some deep diving. None of the stats on Mendoza or Dante Moore are better than what Shedeur Sanders' stats were when he was in college. To me personally, Shedeur Sanders would have been the number one college quarterback coming out this year if he would have stayed another year. So how do y'all feel about that? Tell me your thoughts. If Shedeur, Fernando Mendoza, and Dante Moore was all coming out this upcoming year, who would you pick for your number one quarterback? Matter of fact, let me know in what draft order you're in. You had the first, second, and third pick. What quarterback would you pick in what order? Put that down in the comments whenever you watch this. I'm Double P, the host of Premier Sports Talk. Whenever you watch this, I'm doing all my live video feeds. Once I hit those 50 subs, all my live collaborations are going to be at Premier Sports Media for you. Selmo, if you haven't, I need you to go ahead and subscribe over to that channel. I've been speaking it, but I need people to tap into that channel over there. I have over 5.4 million views with these short video posts that my channel got saturated with me being a young buck in this YouTube algorithm, not knowing any better. So I got a huge recognition on the short videos, and this channel, Premier Sports Talk, is where people primarily like for me to drop my short video feeds. So I had to create Premier Sports Media for you, the new channel, because I'll be covering all things sports, college basketball, NBA. I can't wait till the season after the playoffs end. I'll be tapping in real hard with that. NBA, let me know who your favorite NBA players are, your favorite NBA teams, your favorite college team, both male and female. I rock with Daly out there in South Carolina. I've been rocking with her for years now. Big time rivalry at LSU women's basketball. What else? MLB. My son got a baseball scholarship playing down in Missouri. Let me know who your favorite baseball team's on. I'm gonna be rocking on it all, 24/7. I got time. Let's go into one more thing. Let's hear Rizzo go off about daggone Coach Stefanski, and then I'm going to close this up.
He's out of God. Sorry. Well, all of a sudden, 7-26 is going to be. I appreciate the fight in the team, and I appreciate what he has done here. And I don't want to minimize what he's done here, but I still think he's got to go. Chris, I only have to look around the league at the Patriots, at the Seahawks, at the Saints, at the Jaguars. Man, you make the right coaching change and you can find gold.
Y'all hear that? That's Tony Rizzo. The Tony Rizzo Show on YouTube and ESPN Cleveland. He's been in the sports arena well over 30-something years. I tap into them. They're like morning coffee. I tap into them every morning. Every morning I'm listening to them. I got addicted to them in there. They have really good programming, sports programming up there. If you don't tap into it, once you start listening to it, you'll pretty much get addicted to it. Like for those of you who drink coffee, you'll get addicted to listening to them. They'll have you laughing really, really hard. But Tony Rizzo had a really good point. When I refer to Mike Vrabel, he was with the Cleveland Browns last year as a consultant. Jimmy Haslam let him leave. Never even asked him if he wanted the opportunity to coach there. Last year, the New England Patriots was 3-14, just like how the Browns was last year. And the Browns have only won one more game than what they did last year. And then look at the New England Patriots with Drake May. Balling out. Looks like they're going to win a division up there. The New England Patriots, matter of fact, it may be a New England Patriots Eagles Super Bowl or New England Patriots Seattle Super Bowl. I see the Rams got tore up by they fought back. The Los Angeles Rams were losing on Monday Night Football 21-0. They rallied back, made it 24-24. And then Bijan Robinson ran all over him, ran the ball all over him, and in overtime, the Falcons kicked the field goal, and the Falcons ended up beating the Rams. So, but Rizzo was trying to say, hey, you know, if the Jacksonville Jaguars can turn their season around after one season, if the New England Patriots can turn their season around after one season, if the Chicago Bears can turn their season around after one season, that it can be done. You know, throwing jabs at Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski. They've been there 6 years. Change got to come, y'all. Change got to come. A culture change got to come there. We'll see here in the next 6 days what's going to happen. Again, I'm Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk. That's the channel I'm going on live on here. I already launched my new channel, Premier Sports Media for You. That's what y'all see in the background for me. If y'all could kindly go sub in over there, because I need to push all my live collaborations and all my live video feeds on that channel. I hope y'all have a prosperous new year. I'm supposed to be doing a live collaboration this week with East Will with Going Strong Podcast and Browns Football Talk, but he's feeling under the weather. So prayers up to him. Congratulations to the Dog Pound. Y'all won y'all Super Bowl, beat my Pittsburgh Steelers. Y'all got a history of beating us up in Cleveland out of 6 games. Steelers only won 2 of them. And I ain't looking forward to this Monday. Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh Steelers haven't had a losing season in 19 years. Mike Tomlin's won the Super Bowl the second year he got there with Pittsburgh. He inherited the team from Bill Cowher before he retired from coaching. So he actually inherited Bill Cowher's team and won the Super Bowl in Detroit, letting Jerome Bettis go off into the sunset with a Super Bowl ring. Ben Roethlisberger had a Hall of Fame career quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers for 18 years. If Ben was playing that game, Ben wouldn't have lost that game against the damn Browns. He wouldn't have cared about getting sacked either. That damn man. And then I just can't believe DK Metcalf doing what he did to that fan up there in Detroit. You know, they got a history between each other. That guy's been stalking DK Metcalf, but he should have known better than jeopardize himself like that. He got fined, close to $500,000, 2-game suspension without pay. They can actually void his guaranteed contract. I don't see them doing that. But we'll see how Black Mondays go. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens to tear us up out the box. We ain't got no DK Metcalf. We ain't got our number 1 and number 2 wide receiver. So the odds are stacked against us. But again, I'm Double P. I'm hosting Premier Sports Talk, but you see it going across the bottom of the screen and on there. I launched my new channel at Premier Sports Media for You. Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up. Drop your comments in. All comments are welcome. Let me know who your favorite college teams are in basketball, male and female. Let me know who your favorite baseball teams are, who your favorite boxers are, who your favorite NBA teams are, NBA, WNBA team, because on Premier Sports Media for You, I'll be tapping in and speaking on all hot takes in every sports arena. Thank you for being a blessing to me, and most importantly, be a blessing to somebody else whose path you cross. I'll see you when I see y'all.
Share with your homies. Share with your homies. I'm double PP, cooking on no hot takes. Come have a good time and sharing on the fun. Premier Sports Media for everyone. I'm double PP, cooking on no hot takes. Come have a good time and sharing on the fun. Premier Sports Media is for everyone. Premier Sports Media for you. Hit that thumbs up and like button. And drop your comments on Premier. Share with your homies.